Lactation Lounge, where we support and empower each other through the incredible journey of motherhood. So, if you're new here, I'm Sade. I'm a childbirth educator, breastfeeding counselor, and doula. And today we're diving into a topic that is top of the mind for many of you, which is breastfeeding and returning to work. First things first, I want to acknowledge how challenging it can be trying to juggle breastfeeding and going back to work. You're managing so much, like your job, your baby, and your well being, and it's a lot. And it's completely normal to feel a little bit overwhelmed, especially in the beginning when you're just trying to get your foot back in the door, right? Because maybe you were off for a few weeks or even months, and it's like, okay, like how do I even do my job anymore, right? So one of the biggest things that you can do is plan ahead. And you can do this by starting by talking to your employer about your needs, discuss your break times for pumping, and find a private and comfortable space where you can express milk. Understand and know your rights when it comes to having a designated space to be able to pump, and having a clear plan in place that will help the transition smoother. Maybe be able to plan your breaks, pump on a schedule, so that way like you have a good routine going, and then that way like it feels like it won't be a huge disruption to you starting work. When it comes to pumping at work, consistency is key. Try to pump at the same times that your baby would typically nurse. I know that's not going to be feasible for everyone, but if you can, go ahead and do that. This was really going to help maintain your milk supply, and it keeps you on a schedule. Don't forget to label and store your milk properly, because it's nothing like not knowing on what days or what months you pump this amount of milk out. Have a cooler bag on hand. That's going to be a huge lifesaver. Actually, I wish I would have brought it out to show you all, but I'll make another video about that. So no worries. I have this really cool breast milk chiller from Sari's Milk, and then a mini cooler that I use as well for like large pump sessions when I know I'm just going to be like gone for a long period of time. Speaking of storing milk, invest in a really good quality breast milk storage bag and containers. Make sure to follow guidelines and how long your milk can be stored in the fridge or the freezer. When transporting milk home, a cooler with ice packs is your best bet for keeping like your milk safe and fresh. If you haven't already, start transitioning your baby to a bottle a few weeks before you go back to work. You don't want to wait and do this last minute, because it could be a shock for you and the baby. And I don't want you to stress out too much when you find that your baby is home and not taking the bottle from people, or not wanting to take the bottle at all, just completely refusing it. It can be very stressful, and then that's just not going to make your transition back to work any more smoother. This gives them time to adjust, and it also gives you time to adjust and troubleshoot what you need to do to help your baby take a bottle. And you can find out which bottle they prefer. Have someone else offer the bottle first is usually a great tip, so that your baby associates breastfeeding with you only if you want to continue nursing. Staying connected to your baby while you're apart is super important. Keep a small piece of their clothing or a blanket with their scent. Record videos of them while you're pumping. It can really help with the letdown and make you feel a lot closer to them. Lastly, don't forget to take care of yourself. The transition back to work is a big one, and it's okay to ask for help, whether it's from your partner, family, a support group. Lean on those people around you, and remember, you are doing an amazing job. Give yourself some grace, because it can be really, really hard, especially in those initial first days, weeks, being separated from your baby when you've been with them for so long, and maybe you just weren't ready yet to go back to work, but for financial reasons, maybe you had to. And that's totally understandable. You're doing amazing. This is for your family, and it's all going to pay off in the long run. And returning back to work does not mean you have to give up on breastfeeding. It just means you gotta, shift and come up with a different plan. I hope these tips really help you navigate breastfeeding and returning back to work. If you have any questions or you need more support on how you can really effectively return back to work and not lose your supply, because that tends to be what is when the most moms see a dip in their supply, you definitely want to join the Lactation Lounge series where I'll help you troubleshoot all that good stuff, or consult with me one-on-one and we'll create a game plan for you to return back to work and still be pumping enough milk to feed your baby. So drop a comment in below, reach out to me directly. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on breastfeeding and motherhood. You got this, mama. Remember, one day at a time. Say bye.